My oldest son is a varsity football player, and during the season he got hurt. Now, if you played sports, especially football, because one of the things that I absolutely love about football is that football seems to be the only sport that once you're done playing, you're done forever. There is no rec league football. There is no church league football. There is no, little league or something you sign up. If you want to do it, you'll play flag football or something like that. But the football that you put on the pads, you put on the helmet, you go, you attack. Nah, that's done. Once you're done, you're done. All coaches, especially in football, they got two speeds for you. If you get hurt, they tell you quickly, are you hurt or are you injured? Because those are two different things. If you're injured, listen, go see the medic, whatever, go have the team doctor take a look at you, figure out, you need surgery, you need to go to the hospital, what? But you're out the game. Figure yourself out, get healthy. But if you're hurt, okay, suck that up, get on back out there. Matter of fact, take that pain that you feel and use that as aggression. Take that hurt, make the opponent hurt. My son decided that he was hurt, he wasn't injured. So the spring came around and he was in conditioning, and a bad play, silly play from one of his teammates, and now he's actually injured to the point where he has a torn meniscus in his right knee, and he's had surgery, and now he's at the point where he's going through physical therapy to battle back. One of the hardest things about rebounding from a surgery is the mental aspect of it. Can you be as good as you were before? Can you be better? But really, at the end of the day, do you trust yourself? Hello, Governor. This is Rekkai Steed, nupefromdaville, and we're on episode 6 of the Acolyte, Teach, Corrupt. So we find out Sol is accidentally, or he is taking Mae with him, who he thinks is Osha at the moment. His entire team, all the young Jedis that he took with him, got obliterated by, we found out that the master was Qimir all along. And it was one or several very impressive lightsaber fights in episode 5. And I've seen the internet, and I see that some people are saying that it was poor choreography or whatever, and that's you just hating. Stop it. By all means, I am not saying that this series is a winner and winner chicken dinner. No. There are problems. As there are problems in most of the Star Wars things that have been put out since 83. After you get past the original trilogy, a lot of stuff is problematic. Now, some stuff is better than most, and most die-hard Star Wars fans know that some of the best storytelling in all of Star Wars is actually the animated. Go figure. It's like the DC model. Terrible movies, fantastic animated. If you've seen Clone Wars and the Rebels, you have seen the absolute best that Star Wars has to offer. Master Vernestra is on her way to Khofar because she gets word that Saul's entire team was decimated. So they're on a rescue mission. And she lands on the planet and she says something that says what happened there was a lightsaber user, and something has come along that may tip the scales. And I'm assuming that the tip the scales meant towards the dark side or towards the possible end of the Jedi, because before she went, she was on a problematic call with a informant that's telling her there's a senator that wants an audit, or basically, bring the Jedi Order to the table because there's some problems, and the Jedi Order is doing too much, or they think they this and that. There's a lot of people that have problems with the Jedis. That's not new. That's all throughout the prequels. We see the problems that people have with the Jedis. That is not a new thing. Sol finds out that it's actually Mae, not Osha, on his ship, and he says that they need to talk. Right after he had said that he was going to go basically snitch on himself to the High Council and tell him everything. Which, again, I am upset that there's another episode. We don't know what happened on Brendok. Oh, it's getting on my nerves. Just tell us already. There's only 2 episodes left of the series. How y'all stretch this out over 6 episodes is really working my nerves. And if it is not the mother of all reveals in next episode, because they have to say what it is in episode 7 so that we can deal with it and figure out what is the resolution for it in episode 8. So we at the point, come on with it. Start talking, Sol. Ooh, getting on my nerves. Let's talk about Osha for a second. Qimir took her back to his little spot where apparently this is, there's a vein of cortosis on this island, which that's a rare mineral. In legends, it's only found on like 2 planets, which actually the use of cortosis is fantastic. That is a wonderful pull from the expanded universe, the legends community. In the last episode, I was thinking it was Beskar, but it was also something else that was used by the Mandalorians, which is cortosis. Fantastic. They're doing a lot of nice things, and they're putting a lot of nice things from expanded into canon, and I like that. Again, not that this is knocking my socks off, but it's becoming far more interesting than what a lot of people who didn't even give it a chance will have to say. Qimir comes off very slick. He's very almost charming, and he's very soft-spoken with Osha. And he's really revealing some things to her that she was not aware. And I think I said in our reaction, if you've not seen the reaction that Syntell and I had on this episode, check the link in the description. Go check it out. The Jedi have been painted for 40 some odd years as always the good guys, even though we have example after example that they're not always the good guys. Let's see, exhibit number 1, they steal children. Because it's not even so much that the parents give them permission, it's a privilege to be a Jedi. At what point, any boarding school, your kid goes off to the military, he can still call home every Sunday. He gets to come home, he gets to leave. The Jedi almost, if you got a little force sensitivity to, they will steal your kid. They'll take your kid and tell you, well, we could just let them be taken by the dark side. So you ought to let us steal them instead of letting other people steal them. Bruh. And the larger an organization is and the more people you have in it, the more people, whether they are human, humanoid, or alien, the more likely they are to err. No one is perfect. No one follows the rules 100% of the time, and that includes the Jedis. We are getting a completely different perspective in this. Now, that's not to say evil is evil. And I think the point that the master, the Qimir, the stranger, is trying to make is when people set out to execute me, when I'm not even allowed to exist, what does that say about the people who are hunting me? Are they inherently good? Because still, if you say I'm evil, I'm part of this evil organization, did I actually do something? Or you're killing me because I joined up with these dudes because I don't like what you're saying, I like what they got to say more. No, especially here in America, that's something that we have a right. A lot of people hold on to this right of free speech until it's something that they don't want to hear. The one thing I took from this episode is about trusting yourself. It's easy to say the cliche things. If you can dream it, you can do it. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. Bruh, stop. A quote that I absolutely love regarding this: you can have everything you want if you're willing to give up on the belief that you can't have it. Sometimes we are our own worst enemy. Many of us do a little thing and maybe we don't even know we're doing it. It's called self-sabotage. Now, why would you do that? I really want X, Y, and Z. Why would I self-sabotage? Maybe you don't believe that you deserve it. Maybe you will sabotage a situation, a relationship, a work opportunity because you felt you're just saving yourself some time because it was going to go bad and blow up in your face anyway. Why do people self-sabotage? You don't trust yourself. I've used the analogy before about the two wolves on your shoulder. One that was the light side that represented your higher self, one that was on the dark side that represented your lower self. And you know what kind of person you are based on which one of these wolves you feed. If you feed yourself negativity, that wolf that represented your lower self, the dark side, he's going to get strong. And he'll kill the other wolf. But if you feed yourself positivity, you affirm your strength, your power, your greatness. You affirm your purpose, what you are here for, even if you don't know it. Why do you think you're here? Do you trust yourself enough to get up every morning and go out here and get it? Then that wolf on that shoulder, the one that represents the light side, the one that represents positivity, your higher self, he's going to get strong and be almost unstoppable. And he'll do away with the other wolf. The thing is, we're all human. And we have seen some excellent examples here of recently of what happens when people think that you're not human and you err. Will Smith comes to mind. Nobody cares that he's been squeaky clean and outside of a transgression you heard with his wife, he has spewed and been all about, because it wasn't an act, he's been all about positivity. He had a different way of thinking for 30 plus years. And then based on whatever stress, whatever he was going through, he snapped and open hand slapped a man in the face on national TV on one of the biggest nights, not only of acting, but of his actual career. No one is giving you credit for the last 30 so years of positivity and the guy that you have been. It all came crashing down in one night with one act. And he's been on the apology tour. He's been, saying other stuff and trying to get back to being him and being positive. But at this point, your reputation and all that you said is so tainted. And it's unfortunate that people start to see people as objects and not people and think that they're not allowed to err. There's another quote that says, it's not the mountain that you conquer, but yourself. Will Smith said that thing that we want, that success that we want, is on the other side of the thing that we fear the most. So you can look at it as a mountain, like you have to climb a mountain, you have to get to the peak, to the summit. But remember, we're talking about trusting yourself. At what point do you give up on yourself? At what point do you fold like a tent in the wind? Because that's actually infectious. The giving up on yourself. And it affects and infects the people around you. Just like when you have confidence in yourself. When you have confidence in yourself, when you trust yourself, other people want in on that. And they're willing to follow you. They're willing to bank on you. They're willing to invest in you. Because people want some of that for their own life. And that's why we get wrapped up in the lives of these celebrities and these stars. Because somewhere you think that they got it all figured out. They don't. Maybe their talent got them that far. Maybe their hard work got them that far. Maybe both. But if you want to get what you want out of life, you have to figure out a way to trust yourself. It's not easy. It's easier than you think. This is Rekkai Steed, nupefromdaville. Make sure you like, share, comment, share some more. And if you haven't done so by now, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. It's all about this. Definitely all about this.